Hello, I'm Mombierella. Welcome to A Tale as Old as Time. Please remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to keep up to date on all the new and upcoming videos. And now, Poor Unfortunate Soul, Tale of the Sea Witch by Serena Valentino. Copyright Disney Enterprises Incorporated, 2016. Chapter 12, A Set of Stolen Pipes. Ursula didn't dismiss the near miss between Ariel and Eric as casually as the sisters three had. If it hadn't been for her poopsies tipping over the boat, the prince would have kissed the little brat, and it would have ruined her plans. Nice work, boys, she said to Flotsam and Jetsam, looking into the magic divining sphere the sisters had given her when they saw each other last. That was a close one. Too close. She was furious with the odd sisters for letting Ariel get so close to the prince. The little tramp. God, she's better than I thought. She was enraged. At this rate, she'll be kissing him by sunset for sure. She swam to her pantry, where she kept all manner of components for spellcraft. What have those sisters been doing? I can't believe they allowed this to happen. Well, it's time Ursula took matters into her own tentacles. Smashing a glass ball containing a butterfly into her cauldron, she said, Triton's daughter will be mine. Then I will make him writhe, and I will see him wiggle like a worm on a hook. All at once, everything turned gold, encompassing her, transforming her into something else, something she hated. Vanessa, she thought, revolting Vanessa with its large violet eyes and long black hair. She felt sickened in that human flesh, forced, once again, to use another's beauty to hide herself. But this would be the last time. Of that, she was sure. As Ursula stood on the shores of Prince Eric's estate, wearing someone else's body and carrying someone else's voice, she mused. Soon, Triton would be dead, and she would take her rightful place on the throne. She would do so in her true design. How fortuitous that Triton's youngest daughter should fall in love with a human. How poetic. If she hadn't needed Ariel's soul, she would have let her marry Mr. Fancy Prince. It would have broken her father's heart, seeing her become the thing he hated most, a human. It was divine intervention, but she had other plans for Ariel's soul. She wouldn't have bothered taking the little mermaid's voice, as she intended the mergirl and Eric to marry. The gods of fortune had been working in Ursula's favor the day the waves ripped Prince Eric's ship asunder, sending him deep within the ocean into Triton's domain. Thank the sea gods, Ariel fell in love with Eric in that moment. Ursula's minions had told her when it happened. It was all too perfect. The gods granting the little mermaid the strength to save the prince and take him safely to shore. It was as if they were working towards Ursula's aims. And as far as Ursula could surmise, the prince had begun to fall in love with the gorgeous young redhead who had saved him, and he'd been pining for the dream girl ever since. Thank goodness she'd thought to take Ariel's voice, or they probably would have married the moment she opened her stupid little mouth. The poor prince thought he'd conjured the songstress in his drowning delirium, the girl with the beautiful voice. Now Ursula was in possession of that voice, and she intended to snare herself the little mermaid's prince and make him hers. Her musings were interrupted by the whistling sounds of a human instrument, a flute, flying through the air and splashing into the waves. He's here, she thought. Perfect. With Ariel's voice, Vanessa sang the tune that had enchanted the prince on the day Ariel saved his life. She felt like one of the sister sirens, calling forth her prey, bewitching a human man with her song, Ariel's song, drawing him to the shores and to his utter destruction. Then a thought came to her. If she were to possess Triton's power, and at the same time rule in Eric's kingdom, she would dominate both land and sea. It was too brilliant, too perfect, and utterly divine. She would just need to keep Prince Eric enchanted as long as it served her aims. Then she'd get rid of him once he was no longer of use. Eric wandered to the shores, drawn by the song of Ariel's voice within Vanessa and bewitched by her magic. To say he had any thoughts or feelings of his own would be a great exaggeration, or better, purely inaccurate. It was a little unfair bewitching him like that, but Ursula didn't want to leave anything to chance. She could have simply lured him by employing Ariel's voice alone, without witchery, and he would have thought it was Vanessa who'd saved his life. But time was running thin, and she needed to be sure Eric wouldn't fall in love with Ariel. She needed Ariel's soul. Had she any empathy left in her, she would have felt sorry for the poor prince, dizzy-eyed and befogged as he was. He seemed like a decent fellow, quiet, sweet, humble, rather moral, and far too handsome. When he approached Ursula in the fog, his eyes dazed by her magic, she sighed. He finds this human shell beautiful. Not Ursula. He finds Vanessa beautiful. She'd never been loved for herself by anyone but the human who had adopted her, her father. He had loved her, even when she had transformed into something monstrous, ugly, and foul, as her brother had called her. Never mind the past, she thought. None of that will matter. Not when both the land and sea are mine. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to keep up to date on all the new magic. Have a magical day.